Okay, good. So this class is about, if I have to give a name, the Unbreakable Arm. We can call it the Barbie arm or the Mannequin Arm. Okay. So what is the idea about it? Look, if you want to, just like politics, democracy is the best. Yes, it's the middle between two extremes. So if you think about arm structure, what can your arm do? It can fully extend and it can fully bend. What is the best? It depends. If I want to have a choke, extreme situation, I want to have a fully bent, yeah? But sometimes I want to keep someone away, I want to have a full stretch. The problem is, if you go to a full bend, for example, then your opponent has a clear pattern on what to do. He wants to fully extend your arm, or maybe get more space. And if you keep someone away, then his goal is going to be to maybe bend your arm, yes? So the magic happens in the middle, yeah? So, what I do lately, look, when you focus on Jiu Jitsu on just techniques, it takes forever to fill in all the gaps. Yeah. I believe more in focus on mechanics. Guys, can you use sign language for a bit? Sorry. Okay. Thanks. So if you want to define all the techniques, you can define every motion between a motion of the core, a motion of the arms, and a motion of the legs that work together. So what is core motions? I already explained this before, but we already gave probably many examples in this week. The core motions are always a full bend, a full extension, lateral motion, and the more flexible you are, the more extreme you can reach. It's a rotation, yeah. And there is what else was there? And neutral, we can go spine flexed and spine extension. So every motion can be defined in those. I've gave classes about it before. You can find that on YouTube. So it's actually, if you sit on the floor, it is, for me, rock bottom, shoulder escape or baby bridge, inside shoulder escape or Hawkins, which transition into each other. And then you can do this it's starting from a bend position or starting from a full extended position as well. So I can give more examples of that, but every technique is an example of that. So once you learn the core motions, you keep them separate. Then we learn about the arm motion. You can full extension, full bend. Yeah? And today what we're going to do is about this arm structure. So you're going to try this. You're going to bend your wrist like this, but not just bend and relax. You're going to be like, if someone wants to bend, bring it back, he has to actually do effort to your hand. Yeah, this. Then also don't leave your hand closed, because if people squeeze this, they can start to hurt the structure in your hand, the bones, and then you have to move. So you're going to make your fingers wide, like that, see? Like a claw a little bit. And then, so bend, engage, keep it like, how many degrees would this be? So between 45 and 90, what is that? 75, more or less. So this amount, yeah? And then the most important, hardest to explain, you're gonna suck your shoulder in. So not do this, it's about the arm alone. You're gonna use this, the lat motion to do this. So you're gonna get like kind of a wing. And now feel this arm, keep it engaged, and now feel how your arm moves like a robot. You can do both, see? If I would be a dancing instructor, the first thing I would teach would be electric boogie. You know electric boogie? That's the idea you gotta feel a bit right now. Yeah? And I'm gonna give different examples of that, why that's a good idea. We're gonna start to connect it to the class from yesterday. So Martin's not here, I see, so no worries. Okay, come here please. You're gonna be in my half guard again. Come close. So everybody remember from yesterday, I'm gonna hook the foot, knee on the hip, everything the same. And my friend is gonna go for the darts. And at first, I'm just gonna leave my arm limp. You're gonna get the dart as deep as possible. Go for it. Without moving me, finish it. Tap. If you have to move me to finish it, it means you did not something well. Every time you move me, I can resist that. So the goal of submissions is not to move the partner, is to take motion away until the point there is negative motion. And then you start to penetrate the tissue and then I tap. So this is one extreme of it. The other one I could be more here. Then it's more of a cross face and to the other side. It doesn't matter. So you're going to go for the choke once more. And now second time I'm going to just leave my arm limp on his back. So the first time my arm was inside. Yeah, and he choked. Next time I'm going to put my arm on his hip here. Just leave it limp. Go for it again. Just squeeze. Tap. Should be a little bit harder. And the third time, so I'm going to turn around actually. So move over here. And the third time you're going to just do this. You're going to come close. I'm going to go for the dart. And you're going to start by leaving the pressure How you call this body part? This here, the wrist. I don't know the inside, like the line between your arm and your wrist. Yeah. You're gonna put it on this hip, not inside, but like on the side here, and then put some pressure, please. You're gonna start putting pressure on your on this body part. It allows you to push your elbow back, engage your neck muscle, and then your leg kind of engaged. Go for the choke, please. Now. Go for it. Go for it. See here, if you can crunch your body up. See here I might tap eventually. But now my key is also here to push my chin forward and engage my back. Now go for it. Go, go, go. Hunt it. Hard, yes. Keep it, keep it, keep it. And I take my arm away. Go for it. And if I can still stop with my elbow alone, but that would be like a step closer to his victory. Got it? So feel this. If you don't feel it at all, then I will come and help you. So play like 3-4 minutes with this, and then we go to a different example. Okay, let's go. What is the ultimate DARS defense? It's actually very easy to never get DARSed ever. It's very easy. Just keep your elbows closed, put your neck like that, and that is the extreme of the DARS defense. What is the problem if you go that extreme? You open other things, and also your opponent will not go for the DARS anymore, or it's to be incredibly stubborn, and which you can appreciate, but it's too far away. So I always like to entice people. Like I said yesterday, I don't like to have a grip fight, or I do, we can have the grip fight, but it's where speed and ideas and flexibility and all those attributes that matter more. Imagine you only are good in defending the DARS and winning from there. Then it would be your best interest to lure the person into your game. The more you go to grip fight, the more you have to know everything a bit, because that's where everything differs. So if you make defense your game and Gambit's your game, you're always gonna get what you want. Eventually they're gonna try to guillotine you, DARS you, footlock you, whatever, back take you, mount you, and that's the worst thing that can happen. And then you have to see how deep you go, yeah? Help me again, please. So now, on this side, I'm going to tie quickly back to the class from yesterday, how this can help you, and then I'm going to give different examples how the arm can be safe, how the arm keeps you safe in different situations. Come here, please. So, yesterday, my goal to get in half guard is to be here. Today I have this pressure and both hands on the floor. You try to slap me in the face with your right hand. See, that's hard, yes? The left is still possible, but I just want to show that this hand, I put it on the floor and I put my weight into it, it's a bit useless at that moment, or it cannot really use to attack. So now, I want to get here, I want to have his weight over me. So usually people are going to fight in this distance. If I just keep my arms here, so try to get an underhook, eventually people will not like to go for this because it's very hard to get the underhook. Push it please, and I keep going back and forth. And this will give them ideas to block me, put my hands on my chest, put your head over here, in my chest here, and start to fight more backwards. Keep the pressure in your head as you walk your leg away. Yeah, and then I just don't like my options there. I like to fight a close game. So because of this, I like to keep the space a little bit. So here for the underhook, play a bit. Eventually, see, I will actually give him the. If you go deeper enough here, and you leave the arm a bit limp, they will go for the DARS. Go for the DARS. Once he goes, see. If you take away all hope right away, he will take his arm back and start a fight for the distance game. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to leave my hand kind of loose here, he goes inside, and when he goes deep, here, see then I start to put pressure on my hand, go a bit deeper please, I want him to commit to it. Commit, go for it. And once he's committed, I know he will not just pull back, just like that. So you want to bend your wrist, see, my knee can also reinforce it, and I want to put pressure on my elbow. So bend the wrist, pull the elbow back. And now this motion, you hunt a bit deeper for the DARS. This brings him very often more over me, like it brings his weight over me. Then I can put my hand, like I said yesterday, the oil check. Then you do the inside shoulder escape, you start to roll him over. Boom. If he insists, maybe you roll him over. Most people put the hand on the floor, right hand. Like pulse, the moment I pulse, you're gonna kick out, come up. This grip is very important. If you don't have it, the back step comes. You try to back step now, it's harder when you do this. That's the first attempt. Second attempt can be this. Go for the underhook, please. The wizard. Yeah, go. So I push myself inside. This he posts again. So this time he goes back. And I was late to post this. Go back. See? And just come up, and then I go for the body lock. If he pushes it back again forward, you can reset using the grip. Post your hand, please. Which brings you back out. Or do the back step, you block on your leg, back step, you block, 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 and then he goes back, and he can go out again. That is where it's aimed for. If it's too much or you don't remember from yesterday, then just stick to the defense and just make it, this motion here, where you make this loop. And if you want to go back, go here, you get up, and you can find a more traditional half guard game as well. Got it? Try please. Or rarely actually. So when you do this, don't go all the way in, and then all of a sudden, boom. In general, if you make yourself smaller, you're stronger. So you're here, you wait, and I keep insisting, I'm trying to lift his ass up. And the guy puts his weight more backwards, and I keep crawling. He goes a bit over there, and bang, that's when you go. So every, or most half guard sweeps are actually like a lateral plunge on this side. You can walk with your head, like literally walk with your head, with the hand at the butt, and then you bridge. You bring your knees to the other side. Can you resist it? Yes, you can. But you insist. When he posts his hand on the floor, you go backward, you keep insisting. Sorry? You go back? Well, no, that's like a very, look. So I go in, he posts his hand on the floor. He just lost one hand. I cannot, no, he did go back, and he gets his both hands back. So you have to insist until he undercommits and crumbles, extreme left, or he overcommits, goes too hard, extreme right. And the game is played in the middle where both have choice. Understand? So play with that again. Okay, go. When he posts, go for the back. Same thing on both sides. Yeah. So and it's just test it. Yes. I'm going to show on both sides. Can you please? So he's going to get the dart a little bit deeper. So what I like to do also, if I'm here, like yesterday, turn a bit to the camera, please, or to everybody else. More. So this hand here, I actually put it like this, not too deep, because you'll actually break your wrist if I sit down, but you make this engagement also. So it's the same structure on both sides. So when he gets the darts, go for it please. And he gets quite deep. See here, I cannot get out anymore, but how can I survive here? I first start engaging my wrists, and then, see, I'm going to start engaging my neck and my back by putting, go back please. I don't want to pull out. That's what gives you hernias. You want to push your nose in, and then push your chest through. Do you understand this or no? Everybody gets this? Yeah. So I'm going to do the wrong thing. Let it get it slightly, yeah? Here, if I start to pull back, relax, eh? If I start to pull back, and he pulls also back, I'm bending my neck more. Imagine he goes 100% there, and I go 100% back. Here's where it will snap. And then in 10 years, you wonder why I have a hernia, and the doctor says, because of Jiu-Jitsu, stop doing it, and then it's over, yeah? So get the connection, please. So what I do here, see, you engage your wrists. So what? Engage your back, nose up, and then you push yourself through. And also look, you try to get your right arm out, please. It's not that easy, it's a delay. See, pull yourself back. I can stick. So this grip over here with my both hands is a better connection than this grip. Because, why? Because it has a lower surface. It's like really tight. Yeah? You can compare it probably. Did anyone ever, just what I'm thinking about it, I'm going to be deeper into it. Did anyone ever do mountain climbing? Yeah? Well, if you want to pull yourself up with your heel, what would you do? You would pull your heel like that and bring yourself up. Yeah? So the same thing here. You will do this. Only like I didn't like consistently climb for a few years, so I don't know. Probably in climbing there would be examples where you use this as well when you do. Want to see it again from another angle, or is it clear? Like guys, if I ask you, do you want to see it from another angle, or is it clear, and you say yes, I don't know. Other angle. It's actually my fault because I should ask my question different. But so here, my hands are here. See, he gets his dart quite deep. Huh? Okay, good. And then you're gonna bend your wrists, put pressure on your wrists, pull your elbows back, engage your legs, lift your nose up. Try to bend my neck slightly, please. Yeah, and then you start to push yourself through. Yeah, and then it's looking at one unit, and I can really squeeze his arm also. And this can lead to you stepping over his leg. You can torque him. If he wants to go back now, this is my favorite setup for the lockdown, in which case you will lift him again. And they usually will post a hand on the floor. Post your hand, please. Your other hand. Boom. And that gives you one split second to go out. But rarely I take it because you go a little bit here, then go back inside. Well, depends how limp his foot is. If it's engaged foot, you can lift him over. If I stretch his foot, and it goes sideways, and can use this. Just an entry for the darces, and I especially like it in competition in open weight, because like lighter people than me, they often want to play backwards. The really big guys, they always insist on that, and I had some really cool wins actually with this one. So okay, let's try. Is there anyone not agreeing with it? It's also possible. Don't be shy. Okay, good. Yeah. So we can. It's the first time I'm ever teaching a class about this actually. I've taught in the Armbar Defense, I never taught it from a DARS. Yeah? And I'm planning instructional on half guard. So that's why I'm teaching it now. I have to refine it, and I'm seeing actually how deep it goes. So this thing in general, look, this structure, that's what I call the rock bottom. If you're ever been put on the back, the worst thing that can happen to you is actually getting stacked with pressure on top of you or getting twisted. Yeah? So if you get side control on me, your chest on me, and let's say get tight, catch my head please, give some pressure. This is the worst it should ever get. I don't want to be in the middle, but the structure is still solid and hard to attack. Yeah? It's better than getting stacked or getting twisted. At least your structure is still intact. So now, what else can you see? Often when I compete, my matches, stand up please. I have a whole video on my channel where I gave a seminar in Estonia about my takedowns. So I always want to start the no-gi match usually with a takedown. 2 points, safer from leg locks, all the good stuff. If he's a wrestler, I still want to shoot him because I don't want to get taken down myself. And my shot, which is my attempt to a takedown, is also my half guard entry. Before I injured my shoulder, I would often go here, then slowly sprawls please, put your knee on the floor. Both knees on the floor. Yeah. I would try to take him down. In case I miss, I can make an angle here, start stepping over. Good. I'm not going to show that today. I showed it already in that seminar. But often when your shot goes completely wrong, so you shoot, the guy goes backwards, I go here. Which coincidentally, or not actually, is the same as sprint structure. Yeah? He teaches more that in depth. Now, like I said yesterday, the half guard is a gambit by itself. Many top players, including myself, will try to force the half guard to pass the guard. But also on bottom, people accept it because it's like a good trade-off. People specialize in both. Often have a good bottom half guard, your top will also be better because, well, why? Because you understand it better, but also if you sweep from half guard right on top, also in half guard on top. So that's why it's like for me, half guard is really the center of the game, where everything floats around. Yeah. So often when you're here, they will come close, see, maybe like starting your knees now, it's a bit easier to explain, they come close, see, and they kind of gladly accept this. If you keep the arm open, they go in, they catch, boom, 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 even pass my guard, except here, adjust your hip a bit so you're in a better position. Yeah, here, did he actually pass my guard here? That's discussable, yeah, but very often you can lift him over, go for the darts please, you lift him up for using the same structure and go back, and all you gotta do here, just strap the foot, see, step over, catch it in, and you only got some torque on his leg and can start fighting. So even if, go back please, get the DARS again, go to a regular half guard, yeah, and you get the DARS. Very often it happens because I bait it, or it just happens because it happens. You start to pass your guard, pass my guard, slide over. You can even put a hand here if you like, or keep it inside. Go for the DARS please. You can still keep playing this game. And then when you feel like, you catch his foot, lift it up, push it in, then immediately do the back step please. You've got to be ready to stop this leg from happening. And then better here, either you go right away, but then you can expect the post. If he goes deeper for the DARS, go, you sell it better. You then put his weight a bit over, then it's more likely you're going to get the sweep. This being said, I rarely take this sweep, because if I get on top, I will start pushing my head and have to deal with open guard. So I find it better to sell this sweep very well. He comes back on top, and then take him on the rebound, depending on who you're fighting. Okay? Play this please. That is the last DARS example. Then we go to triangle, and maybe still to arm bar as well, where you use the same structure. Guy walks, hits my foot, I slip, hold her hand, cracked her hand. She actually had to get surgery of it, and that was never my intent. But in a fight, I have to protect 50% of my opponent, which I do, but stuff happens. And then she has to protect her 50%, which means don't put yourself in weird positions. Do not put your hand on someone's hip like that. You're gambling with someone at some point, either by accident or consciously, will drop his hip or your wrist. It will happen, guarantee. So just keep it on the side, not on the inside. Okay? Try again, please. And over with a good triangle. Come on, you look like you have long legs, so you have a good triangle. Come here, please. So, you know, this is what I call the King's Gambit. You enter, so a Gambit is you offer up a piece, so you lose a piece, but you gain positional or structural advantage. The easiest example to give from the darts is if I'm here, for example, and you start raising your hip up, and you close your legs. Yeah. What did you give up here? Well, I gave up a triangle. But what is a triangle really? It's a position from where an armbar is possible, a triangle choke is possible. Okay, good. And what is close guard? A position where an armbar is possible, where some chokes is possible. So you just switch one position for the other. There's nothing really inherently bad about being here. It's just bad in certain angles. Yeah. So the easiest example: he closes his legs, lifts his hip up. Boom. If I get over you here, I'm winning the fight. Yeah. Because try to go outside, hit your head. Not possible, so you go inside, hit your head, I have to stay over. And then most people, structure will crumble there. Go back too close, please. So, usually when I teach this seminar about the darts defense or the King's Gambit, I'm always teaching about the stack. You have to realize that first, the importance of the stack and the importance of keeping your weight always forward, so at 12 o'clock and over your partner. So for me, guard passing is a lot like balancing on a circus ball. So in theory, from the balance on a circus ball, you have to keep your weight perfectly in the middle. Yeah. But it's also very easy because every push will bring you out of balance. So when you do guard passing, you have to imagine it as standing on a circus ball, but with your wall in front of you, you're always posting there. And that's fair because in reality, if you fight your opponent, you can always post your both hands and your head. And in some limited ways, your feet as well. Yeah. But that's what I'm after now. What I'm going to do now is going to be more earlier in the triangle defense. And I start here. In gi, every single time I get the lapel here and put the lapel in the arm, and I can do this structure, elbows back up, the triangle is over. I don't think I've ever been tapped by this in the last 10 years in gi. Occasionally when you go deeper, yes, but if I want to be here, I'm going to be here. Yeah. So the worst it gets you is that back out. Now with gi, it becomes very hard to drag my arm across. In no gi, if you're here, it's easier. So what I want you guys to do now, a few things. You can start rolling triangle from here. Feel how it's hard to defend here. It's possible, but harder. You can also put your arm here if you like. But what's the problem here? Well, if you can keep it, great. But you go the constant battle of not getting pushed back there. Then you're going to keep your arm limp here. You can experiment a bit. And then in the end, I want you to do this. Put your hand in this. Put your hand on floor, please, so people can see the hand. Yeah. So I put my hand in his thigh, pull my elbow back, and I'm going to squeeze and lift my fingers at the same time here. And this arm I'm going to hide. That's it. Why do I hide this arm? If I open this arm, then you're going to go under my arm and go for your knee. Yeah. Go more, please. It's tighter. Get your knee, please. Yeah. You're deeper in the gambit. Engage. Still even here. I can defend the same thing I showed before by using the both arms like that, and I still have a chance, but it's later. So early on, you still want to give yourself some options in the gambit. You put your hand here, bend it, elbow tight, engage both shoulders, and this hand you're going to hide it. Imagine it's MMA. You go for my leg, and also not even just in grappling, you go for my leg. That's when I can catch your head and I win. But this structure is everything. The arm, this. So early on, just put yourself there and try to survive a triangle forever, never, never, never. And that's it. So go, please try.
This position. Start here and pin this.
It's not impossible for him to go with the hand over here. He can start grip fighting it with that hand. See, grip fighting here, but then you get access over the head.
We'll try here.
You can definitely try, and then he has to adjust a little bit. That's probably the counter to go, but one against one you won't win this.
And if he goes over,
sorry?
With this hand,
then you can go in. Yeah. And if you're late,
that's why you do.
It's more risky. I'm saying the whole King's Gambit is more risky in no-gi. That's just how.
Yeah.
So in gi, I actively go for it. In no-gi, it just more happens when I get caught. But go for it, please. So I hide my arm here. If you go for my wrist on this side with that hand, see, I'm actually gonna go here. Depending on how you, if you open the knee more, and then I'm gonna go back. Because there is no triangle. And if you commit to it, the triangle, so then I can go there, depending on what he does. So it also helps you to get back out. But what can happen if they roll through?
Over.
Right, yeah, roll. Here. They go for it. And this is also useful because now I can start to defend the triangle in this way.
Okay. Roll the shoulder.
And do you leave a gap? Can I see again?
So what the arm really does is give you some safety. And in case you would get caught in an arm bar, get the arm bar please. See? Here. Yeah. So you can also use it to control the hip. See, go for the arm bar itself please. You can go for it a bit. It's not impossible, but it's quite hard to finish it. See? Play a bit more please. Yeah. As long as I keep my weight over, see, I should be fine. And it gives you access to stack passive from that side. And if you lose balance, then you have to use a structure to defend from spider web, which is harder. But if you already pre-escape there a bit, then it helps. How it helps, yeah. So look, when I get in triangle, this arm can be taken away. So try just to remove it, just using this arm alone.
With this arm alone?
Yeah, it's without that arm, yeah. Try to remove that. Can reset quite hard, yes?
Yes.
But if you start going with two hands, then indeed, see here, and I can start bringing it the other side. In which case, they actually first bring the arm to where most people tell you should be in triangle defense. And then after that, we have this. Yeah. So actually, if you get good here, you will end up on the spot where most people tell you will have to be, which is not a bad thing, to be honest. I just think this one is worse than that one. That's all. Yeah. So now look, when so if that was supposed to go with that hand, see, you can hide. So you try to pull my arm away. You can do that if you bring your hip up. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to lean more into this side if that happens. So try to get it out now. Okay. You can start rolling through. So options are possible. So what often happens here when you get to that angle, so you try to remove it. I can with my arm here, I can block the hip. See? Yeah. So try to bring it out. It's quite hard. It gives you the options for grip fights here also. You occasionally trap the arm. These are possibilities that I just felt. And I know I do it, just not conscious. But here, so he keeps attacking it. And what often will happen is they try to roll over me, please. So this happens. Here. And then, see, if I keep my neck bent, I will get flipped over. But if I stay into the rock bottom, so try to insist now, I can still drive in. And often, most of the time actually, they start stretching their hip out. And then depending, you extend their spine. Yeah.
Shoulder.
And initially you will get it, and after a while people will sprint very fast. So the trick will be to sell it well, they keep believing in it until it's too late. And that is your homework, okay? Let's try, because I have one more example I really have to talk about. Let's go. First and foremost, you go on this side. Triangle against people who are heavier and stronger is not the best idea, I think. Especially like this, like if you go for a lighter person, you might get away with this. You might get away with that. But Doctor, just take me please. Here, step it. Yeah. Just go forward here. More. Yeah. Great. At the very least, I have a very heavy battle in my hands. Yeah. If you think about this, like most high-level submissions, most high percentage submissions, they always happen in that area. Think about any footlock. Where does a footlock happen? On this distance. The heel hook on this distance. Upper body submissions, also on that distance. If I want to have an arm bar, look at it's ideal position from arm bar from close guard. Would be keep them out of balance a bit, go over. Here I have a good chance of the arm bar. If Tattoo comes close to me, no more chance for the arm bar until I start to get out. Let me spin to it. If I get out and it goes over, no chance for the arm bar. More. Let me go quickly. Put your weight here. Here, high percentage for the arm bar again. It's the same truth for every submission. You want to keep the person away. What does the word guard mean? Guard means defense. What is number one skill in our martial arts of guard and defense is distance management. Yes? So if you're offensive but you're not managing distance, then you will lose. Your distance is your shield. You have to keep it. So look, triangle is very misunderstood, I believe. So ideally what I'm looking for, and the arm will even complicate that, we're gonna relax it for a minute, okay? If you're here, Toto comes forward, I manage distance with this foot, and a lesser degree with this knee here, and even with my arms, but they're mostly for grip fighting. The moment I close and I bend my spine, I will get stacked. So what I have to do, my true battle in a triangle is to walk away, relax me please, and get this elbow far away from his shoulder. And then when I go here, I don't even have to close anymore, but I could. So my triangle, my first aim is always to go here and put my foot on the hip. And then again, same thing I did with my hands. I'm gonna engage my toes. And now look here, so just keep relaxed. I'm gonna breathe in. And every time I breathe out, I squeeze a bit more. This is also weird, look and now engage yourself please. Do this, see now it's gonna be harder. And look at my feet now. If I engage my feet right, so make your armor please. So make your armor. So, because I have to, no, just look, armor means you're gonna engage yourself, so you keep your arteries open as good as possible, yeah? Keep that, free, okay, you okay like this? Yeah. Now, look, if I just engage my feet right away and you engage a bit more, I might not enter. But I really want to close the artery. I want to go as deep as possible. If I engage my legs first in like a hard stick and it's hard to penetrate, so I'm gonna bend my feet first, bring them as close as possible, and then engage my feet. You see? If it's like a cushion, you can enter soft and then turn. The same thing I do when I do darces, for example. If you enter hard straight away, it's like arm and arm. If you go soft first, penetrate deep, and then rotate it in, it's better. So then look at the little triangle again. If I'm here, so many people believe you have to pull the head down to finish the triangle. And that might work if you pull away please. If you pull away, that's actually what will work. If you push yourself in and you get a stack, I'm actually helping you. So if you do this, 3, 2, 1, go, you set yourself up for a stack pass. So I've tried to walk away, and look, once I'm here, look now, I engage my toes. If Toto starts to stack me now, the choke comes on, yeah? Mm-hmm. And if you start to, I actually said it wrong. If you go with your head up here, see, then you put a stack on, you will put a choke on yourself, and if you stack me now, go forward, then it's actually, I'm also allowed to close myself. So I'm doing everything in reaction to you. Understood this? Yeah, that's the first aim, and then all the other triangles, where you roll through and spin through, those, they work as a reaction to, they work when he overcommits this one. So the reader tries to run through, he can spin through. And I believe that the common triangle, how it's called, this one, over here where you spin, this is the most dangerous version of the triangle, because if Toto puts his hand, it's like a gambit. He puts his arm over, start to walk north-south. I walk a bit backwards. Yeah. Well, now lucky I got out intact, but better for you would be to keep it there forever, that I cannot even open my leg, and just slowly crumble me. Yeah. So at the very least, if you go for that angle, I think you have to be way more flexible. And if you are flexible, I used to be very flexible, now a little bit less. Yeah. So that is that. I'm going to conclude the class here because time happens. Yeah? But I want to direct you a video on my YouTube channel that I have. It's called the Unbreakable Arm, where we use the same structure. So if you do Armbar, maybe instead. So yeah, here. And again, I'm not saying this is a good position, but if I start to try to pull my arm backwards, just straight in the worst way possible, just straight backwards. Yeah, this will happen eventually. But if I do this, now do it please. So I tuck my arm in, the same thing, go for it. It's a little bit harder on his part. And it pulls, pull. It allows me more to turn. And every time I get here and I manage to put my thumb down, like that, so try to break the arm now. Put some pressure on the arm, please. It will be very hard for him to finish this. Not without, he can catch my wrist, he can grip fight me, yes, but it puts like another barrier on the whole arm bar. And it allows you, this one, to grip fight at the same time. And the delayed causes helps you. So, why? Because this is bent. This is the best defense against a straight arm bar. The only thing that's possible against a structure like that is an Americana or a Kimura. So if I give this and it goes for the Americana, I can use that to turn out into the hitchhiker. If it goes for the Kimura, you have the reverse hitchhiker. So we're in the Deputter BJJ on YouTube, and then you look for Unbreakable Arm, or you send me a message and I'll send the video to you. And you like, follow, share and subscribe, and the more. Okay guys, thank you.
Picture time!
Oh yeah, pictures.
Picture time!
Sorry.
Oh shit.
You take a picture, I'll make a video. Feature. Oh, it's a picture in a picture.
It's a picture in the video.
It's fucking Inception, bro.
So does it take this away for your photo? Really? One more. Penguin arm. Penguin arm.
What's up,
Thanks, guys.